So I was riding around today, and for the last few days, been keeping a really close eye on my energy and how it's affected by different situations and interactions. And who here has gone online and through searching and putting in Google all the things that they are affected by, feeling drained, no energy, extreme anxiety around people, not enjoying being in crowds, difficulty speaking in front of people, problems looking at people in the eye when speaking to them, not enjoying, being in a group setting, feeling drained around people. How many people out there have, had issues just going to the supermarket, just going to the mall, or just not even having to interact with people, but just being in crowds? And then you go home, and as soon as you do, you're like, you can just feel like you're getting charged again, re-energized. Well, I've looked this up online a lot. I've read a lot about it, studied a lot about it. I have suffered from this for years and years, and know this: the main reason that we're getting drained when we get out, when we go outside, when we're in social, settings or whatnot, is not because there's people around us. It's not because there's crowds around us. Think about it. If you closed your eyes and you didn't know people around you, you'd be fine. What's actually happening is our thoughts are draining us. And this all has to do with the most important thing that all humans have within them. It's our energy source. It's just constantly generating energy, and we're just not aware of it, that we have it. It's kind of like, what's that guy? Gone out of my head. The comic book character that's got the thing here. God, I'm being so stupid, but anyway. Some of you know who I'm talking about. He's got that, instead of his heart, he's got this energizing thing. Well, we all have that. We all have that within us. It creates slowly, it's just constantly generating energy. And what is it that channels that energy is our attention. So when we're out and about, why are we getting drained? Because our attention is on other people. We've lost ourselves. We've forgotten about ourselves. So it's incredibly draining, because we're not here. We're not with ourselves anymore. We've now suddenly we're with that person. We're with that person. Well, what's that person thinking? What's that person doing? Is that person looking at me? Like, why is that person looking at me? What's that person thinking? What's that person's judgment on me? What do people think of me? It comes from, there's many different roots that this can come from, but the basic ultimate root is that it's coming from a sense of lack. It's coming from a sense of that you need something from all these people that you're observing. You need to know that they like you. You need to know that you're safe in their presence. You need to know that sometimes some of us are highly sensitive. We can sense, the anger, the fear in other people. Again, it comes back to the same thing, is our attention needs to be on ourselves. So look, what has helped me tremendously is when you're out in public, put blinders on. Just try this out. For every person that you ignore or are aloof to, for every person that walks towards you, past you, that you just shut out, and in that moment just focus on yourself. And just, it's fine if your thoughts go crazy, because this happens to me. Like, you know, when people walk by and I attempt to do this, it's not easy. Like, you start thinking more. Know that resisting is going to make it stronger. So at that moment, try to like think of something else. If you can't be in the moment and you can't bring your attention to something like your breathing, or, you know, just sense of where you are, then replace that thought of what that, you know, of the other person with another thought, like what I'm going to do when I get home, you know, or what am I can't, you know, something that you're doing that's interesting in your life, or think about your favorite food. You know, that's up to you. You've got to think of something that will work. But the important thing is you need to be aloof. You need to think of it. If you were like controlling yourself in a video game, like let's say Vice City or something, or whatever, would you walk around and just like observe other people and like think about what those people are thinking of your character? You wouldn't. You'd be like, boom, I need to get here, I need to get here, where's the car, I need to get in the car, I need to drive. You know, you're on your own mission, you're on your own journey. And that's really what you need to do when you go out in public, is you need to really be a lot more selfish. The problem with people like us is we give away our energy, and our energy is attention. So think about that. Your attention is the most powerful thing you have. It's like a hose that pours out attention, pours out energy. So the hose is your attention. You know, point it at yourself, shower yourself in energy. You know, so try it out. For every single person you ignore, you're aloof to when you're out and about. Don't worry about coming across as being rude. Don't worry about it. It's not important. Really, just overcome that. Go out. Every single person you can ignore and be aloof to, you're going to go up 5% your energy level. Think of it that way. So you'll feel it too. So go out, try, experiment with this. You know, you could like wind up really struggling, and your thoughts are like, you know, you start thinking more and more. It's fine. I like to do a check, you know, whenever I get into a spot like that, and I have a checklist. Number one on the checklist is scan through your body. So first of all, if you're in public and you're around people and you start, you know, your thoughts start taking over, you start feeling drained, just sit down. If you are able to take a deep breath, do that. For me, it's difficult to do that, because when I have anxiety, I find it hard to breathe. What has helped me is I stop, and first thing I do is I scan my body from head to toe for tension in my muscles. I just scan. I'm like, do I feel any tension? Normally it will be in my neck. I'll be like this, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, and then I'll relax that. And then I go down, and sometimes in my feet, I feel like I'm tensing. Some people, they shake their feet a lot. I'm sure you've noticed that. That's the same sort of thing. So, you know, let go of that. Let go of the tension all over your body. And then just look down, look inwards. You know, it doesn't matter what other people are thinking. Just look down, look inwards. Don't have to look down. Do whatever is comfortable. The point is, check for tension and release the tension. Then the next step is, don't consciously try to breathe. Breathe, let breathing happen, and be conscious of it. So don't like be like, okay, now I have to breathe, and then be like, inhale, exhale. No, just stop and allow your body to breathe whenever it wants to, and then you just catch those breaths like they're waves. Let them pull you. So, you know, become conscious of that. That helps. Alright, and then remember that, I mean, I don't want to get too deep here, but if you're into meditating, if you're aware of self-aware. You might understand this a bit more. If not, don't worry about it. But you don't want to identify yourself too much with this person who you believe you are. So when you're out in public, the reason you're stressing and you're being overwhelmed is because you've identified yourself with this person, and you're basically on the front line of everything, of all those emotions, the thoughts. You're in a whirlwind, you're in a storm. So if you dig deeper and learn about meditating and learn about self-awareness, about the word is mindfulness, whatever, it's just being more aware of who you are, what's really going on. You'll start to realize that this personality that you believe is you, the ego, is something that's just been created, and I like to look at it as it's a shield that you use in the real world, but it's a shield for who you really are. And who you really are is the person playing the video game. You're the awareness. And I'm not going to go into that too much, but being able to detach yourself from this identity that you've created, it's a huge, huge help. Anyway, I've just come from outside and I wanted to record that. I was experimenting with different things, and I could really sense how being aloof, putting your blinders on when you're out in public, can really help you save your energy. You don't have to avoid situations like I did that a lot. You can go out, experiment with this, and just be aloof. Don't even talk to people. Someone asks you something at a checkout counter, just nod. Do this. Alright. If you're listening to this and you are suffering with this, I know exactly what it's like. It's really terrible. But know that you have the power. I have the power. We each have the power. It's up to us. Think of the hose pipe that is connected to the chest, that's pouring out the energy in the form of our attention. So what's our attention on? Let's put it on ourselves. Nothing else exists, just you. Your happiness is more important than the happiness of anyone else. So be happy, serve yourself. And I bet you as soon as I start recording this, I'm going to realize the name of the dude, character that I was trying to think of. God, Iron Man. That's it.